Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into a truly haunting and unsolved mystery, the brutal murder of Barbara Nante. This case has baffled investigators and left a lasting wound on her family, friends, and community for decades. It's a story that's heartbreaking and chilling all at once, and despite years of investigation, we're still searching for answers. But today, we're going to piece together what we know and see if we can unravel the truth behind this cold case. Barbara Nante was a young woman with her whole life ahead of her when, tragically, it was stolen in the most brutal way. To this day, no one knows exactly who did it, why it happened, or what really went down that fateful night. The lack of progress in her case has left her loved ones devastated, and we're going to explore why this case remains unsolved and what we can still learn from it. Her murder has left a huge void, and it's impossible to talk about Barbara's case without feeling the weight of the pain her family has carried all these years. Imagine the heartache of losing a loved one so violently and then living with years of unanswered questions. It's an open wound, and the quest for justice is one that's ongoing. Now, let's take a look at the events of that night. Barbara was last seen at a local bar, where she was hanging out with friends. By all accounts, she was a social butterfly, friendly, outgoing, the kind of person who could light up a room. She said her goodbyes as the night wound down and headed out, but tragically, she never made it home. When she didn't turn up, her loved ones launched a desperate search, fearing the worst. Days later, the worst fear became a reality. Her body was found in a remote location, the victim of a violent murder. From there, the investigation kicked into high gear. It became one of the largest investigations the area had ever seen, with law enforcement pouring everything they had into finding her killer. But despite their efforts, the case hit dead end after dead end. No witnesses, no forensic evidence, no concrete leads. It was as though Barbara's killer had vanished into thin air. One potential suspect did emerge, a man with a troubled past and a history of violence who was reportedly obsessed with Barbara. For a while, it seemed like this could be the breakthrough everyone was hoping for. But even though he was a prime suspect, no charges were ever filed. And so, the case went cold. Years later, there was a glimmer of hope. New evidence came to light, something that seemed to point toward a surprising suspect. But just like so many times before, it didn't lead to an arrest or conviction. Another twist, another heartbreak, and more unanswered questions. One of the strangest details in this case is a cryptic message that was found at the crime scene. It was almost as if the killer was taunting investigators, daring them to catch him. This clue has haunted detectives for years. What did it mean? Was it a real lead? Or was it just a red herring to throw them off the trail? Despite countless analyses and reanalyses, no one has been able to crack the code. It's just one more mystery in a case filled with them. It's hard to imagine the frustration that must come with working on a case like this. No matter how hard the detectives worked, the truth always seemed to be just out of reach. But the fight for justice never ends. We owe it to Barbara, to her family, and to her memory to keep asking questions, to keep searching for answers, and to never let this case fade into obscurity. Will Barbara Nante murder ever be solved? That remains a mystery. But we'll keep her story alive, and we'll keep searching for justice. Thanks for joining me today as we explored this heartbreaking and complex case. If you have any thoughts or theories, drop them in the comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. And don't forget to check out my other true crime videos for more stories that deserve to be told. How's that for tone? It feels more conversational and makes the case more relatable while keeping the mystery and intrigue intact.